sound is nice and the tempos work and all that stuff. So Reina has been absolutely brilliant. Reina Hashimoto. Play with Reina. You'll need the music. You can't improvise. Reina plays the piano and you can play anything at the same time and stop when she does. Jefferson is here. Mike Fisher. We have royalty. We have the euphonium student royalty list from all around the world is here. I feel very honoured. 10 seconds and I do the big hello. And I can put this down. Good afternoon. Here is the news. Welcome to this session. It's really great to be back. It's been an interesting few weeks. Some of you know. South Coast for some days. My parents have both been ill, but I'm very happy to say that they're doing better. And I've seen Mum quite a few times. Dad only through a Skype video. So hopefully we can go to the care home soon. Anyway, how has your practice been? You know, and oh, by the way, that bush that had the lovely flowers, they're not there anymore. But now that we're teaching again, I'm happy to say that there's new buds, new flowering happening. And that's you, of course. If you haven't seen that bush before, you'll say there's a mad guy here talking about flowers in his garden. Well, we talk about anything here. Oh, good stuff. Okay. Emily's here. Enjoyed your video, Emily. Bravo, bravo. So I've seen that many of you have been making music. Many of you have written to me to say that you've seen some of the videos and they've been helpful. You know, it doesn't solve all the problems, but it gives you, if you like, a few shortcuts. There's nothing worse than sitting in the practice room and thinking, am I doing the right thing? What am I doing wrong? Why doesn't this sound good? So they're all still there on this Euphonium Club page and also on most of them on YouTube. So go back and have a look if you've forgotten anything. So I'm just going to recap some basics to begin with. I do hope you have your instrument and the exercises. Little flask of coffee. It's going to be a long session. Duvet. Cancel all your other engagements for the day. No. We'll see how it goes. But we've got quite a lot to do. And if I ramble like I am now, it's going to be really long. Anyway, it's great to have you here. Lots of wonderful people joining us. That's fantastic. Hello, T, Scott, Frank. I'm going to get that part for you, Frank. I'm going to be on the phone on Monday. Anyway, see, if I keep doing that, we're going to get nothing done. How's your posture been when you sit down or stand up to play? Have you thought about that? Oh, Steve, I've never actually thought about my posture. So we sit just as you would sit listening to the radio or watching TV. Do we watch TV anymore? No, because we're too busy. And Misa's borrowed my comfy chair, so I've got a squeaky piano chair. So I'll try and... Posture. Spaces. You remember those? 1, 2, and 3. I hope that's been really helpful. You know, I won't mention who it was, but somebody said I was like a parrot on her shoulder. And every time she was doing something, she can imagine what I would say. Sit up straight, relax, big spaces. Good. I'm happy about that. You see, I still have the sounds and voices in my head. I was listening to a recording from Trevor Groom just about 10 minutes ago. Home on the Range. I'd forgotten, well, I hadn't forgotten what a great player, but when you go back and listen, and I still remember him sounding like that when we worked together. So we remember the good things. If they go in and stay there, it can be like a parrot on your shoulder. It's strange. I feel like I should be wearing like a red t-shirt and green shorts or something. But anyway, so the spaces. This is a preset, folks, when you play, you know. If you start playing and you don't like your sound and you think, oh, why am I bothering? Just adjust a few things. You know, we talked about arm position. We talked about the eyes. And that beautiful drawing, Brian, that your daughter did is on the music stands of many people. Amazing that was. just amazing. Fantastic. And the positivity. So spaces and positivity and relaxing are all fine. But the one thing we have to remember is that we are playing one of the biggest wind instruments known to man. The bass tuba and the sousaphone and that giant family are the only ones bigger. So your lungs probably haven't got bigger unless you've had some private surgery. No, not even then. It's impossible. But you may have found ways to make your breathing more efficient. Relaxing helps. Thinking about the middle of the body. I'm still looking at myself here and it's about 5 seconds below. So I'm thinking, why haven't you got your hands? I have to stop looking down. But who new is here? Patricio. Hi, my friend. Kelvin is here. Wow. Davidone, Enrico, Nutana. Andrew is back. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to get sidetracked, and this will be a 5-hour session instead of just the 4.5 that I've planned. There's no end date for this. When the viewing figures go down to like 2, you know, and it's dark and Misa's saying, your dinner's ready, I will go. So, you know, I always found that breathing exercises were really good when you had a workshop situation. There's a big group of people, everybody, wow, I found that really enjoyable. Well, I've never done that before. And next year, you meet the same people and say, did you do those exercises? Oh, really enjoyed them last year. Last year, 364 days earlier. But we do them again now. Breathing is for life, you know. It's not like a puppy, you know, for Christmas. Breathing is just not for workshops. It's for every day. So let's do some of these together. We'll do them because I know most of you are returnees. We will do some things together in a more rapid way, okay? So put your instrument down. I recommend you do that first. You'll see why. So arms here. Relax, breathe in. Try to avoid tension here. So when we exhale, if you feel you're screwing up your face here, just don't do it. This is just for air. Comes in and goes out. Let's do 3 more. Not too noisy. I can't hear you anyway. I've been doing a lot of Zoom lessons. That was an ice cream, you know, with hundreds and thousands, whatever they called at the top. It's now a buzzword for communication. I've done Zoom lessons, and Zoom lessons are pretty horrible, really, to be honest. Because with speech, it's okay. But if I was to go, then with Zoom, you hear, and then I have to say, did you stop breathing? No. You so, yeah, good old Zoom. But Facebook Live is okay, and there's 60 of you watching, so that's also really good. Nick Birch, hi. So now it's breathe. Go up to breathe 3 times and down. The inhale, try to be more open than the exhale, and definitely not. So if you're making these kind of hissing noises, don't. Make spaces, let the air come in. Say to the air, please go, and I'm in charge. You're in charge, you know what I mean? Here we go, 3 times. Think about how relaxed your arms feel. If you feel tension creeping, just keep doing it until you feel really chilled. And if you want to do some stretching like this, that's really good. We can go up that. Ooh, something cracked. You can edit that out. And this way, all this is good, because then when you start to play, you think, oh, I'm enjoying this today because we've eradicated some tension. We've all still got lots on our mind. If you've got kids going back to school, you're stressed about that. If you're on furlough from your work, you're worried about what happens when that stops. all sorts of things. You know, you're worried about the fact that the streets are full of people, and you know what I'm saying. So, music is our island of tranquility. Our practice room is our castle, and yeah, make sure that your time is your time. If you can plan your practice routines, as many of you have told me you've done, it's better. They said, I had an hour, so I did this, and this, and I worked on this piece. Fantastic. And that positivity means that you're really thinking like an artist. You're really becoming more diagnostic of your own strengths and weaknesses. So that's really important. Okay, one more breathing exercise. We're going to go. Remember. Let's do it together. Stay cool, always. Let it go. Recovery breath. Now, if you're saying, oh yeah, Steve, I remember that from a few weeks ago, means you haven't been doing it. There's a whole load of breathing exercises you can do and mix them up, you know. It's not just focus the spaces, focus the air. Now, I know some people have been on fitness, you know, not all of us are like Andrew Porter, who runs every day. My gosh, Andrew, you are inspirational with your fitness, and especially as you go by the canal. If I was behind you, I'd run behind you with a fishing rod and then, you know, catch up on a scooter or something. But anyway, a lot of us haven't been doing a lot of exercise. We still feel a bit static. If you stand on the scales, that little 2 kilograms extra since the lockdown began. It's hard to shake off. Stop eating. Use the stairs instead of your private elevator in your house. And try to walk. You know, one of the reasons I think my mum got a bit sick is that she was self-isolating and didn't even want to walk round, you know, the normal little route. And now she's doing that, I'm very happy to say. Getting more active, keeping everything moving. So we need to keep active. We need to keep the air moving. Now, how's your embouchure been? Because we spent a lot of time trying to focus this, thinking about the energy here, trying not to over move, trying to stay relaxed, thinking the singer space. And I brought my my special little chopstick. I haven't washed it, so I shouldn't be doing this. Now, this kind of exercise has so many benefits. Focusing on the air, focusing on this, not doing any more than it should do. So if you're going, hi Glenn, if you're watching, wonderful, great to see you. Gernot, yes, it's all a bit quiet here too. How do you mean Gernot? Oh, okay. I have headphones, much quieter than usual. Right, so what can we do about that? If you think it's a bit quiet, somebody said it was fine. I'll just talk louder. I was afraid that when I started playing, it would, you know, peak everything. So I'll try and keep my voice up and not mumble. That should help. Anyway, these air arpeggios, you can use your finger. Let's just try that once, okay? Maureen says the audio is fine. Maureen, I love you. Those of you that have your headphones turned down or listening from under a duvet, sort yourselves out. Okay, so using this air, this pitched air, strengthen the embouchure. Now, this therapy Good for warm-up, even better for warming down. Looks terrible with the camera because we don't see all the vibrations, and it makes my nose itch. It's not a nervous tick I have. Okay, 5 notes. Let's try it. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. Now, I'll be honest, if you're in good shape, if you've been practicing a little bit and you do this regularly, that should be fine. You could even try 6 notes. You can go lower like we did on some of the early sessions. Right, take your mouthpiece, folks. I'm on the 4XR since the last couple of weeks. We're doing some revisions to that prototype. I've been down at the Dennis Wick factory a couple of times, but I'm really enjoying the XR. Remember, we made the similarities with the voice. Glyn Williams, if you're still here, you should be singing this with me with your fine singing voice. Let's play it. A little faster. Copy this, guys. Have a go. So those that were concerned about keeping the tone steady and those that were concerned about getting more confidence with your high tones, have you seen any progress? John, will you stop complaining or hang up? It's much louder when he sings. I can sing all the way through, or I can just talk and you can listen better. Take that cloth out of your ears and pay attention. It's like being back at school, my De Ferris High School days. And sit up straight and do your tie up. Okay, so I hope you're doing a couple of minutes mouthpiece work a day. Let's do a little bit single tongue. This is all part of the warm-up, and we'll go to the instrument in a minute. Now play it and feel joyous, okay? I don't want you to go, because that's not very joyous, you know, that's mundane. I hate that word, mundane. Some of the days have been mundane during lockdown. Some of them have been Tuesday and went, no, mundane is a bad word. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Same speed, double tongue. And then we'll go quicker. Same speed, double tongue. Da-ga-da-ga-dam. 1, 2, 3. And guys, ladies and gentlemen, if we need to breathe during that, breathe, but do it in tempo, okay? I met so many students who would go, you see, and then it just stops mid-flow. So that fast breathing technique with an open throat is important. Let's try and do the whole octave, but just up, okay? Double tongue. 1, 2, 3. I hope you got that last note. I hope you had enough air for it. Increase the tempo. This has to be one breath and double tongue. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Start on that note and come down. Oh, double tongue. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Da ga da ga da. And if you wish, ta ga da ga da, ta ga da ga da, ta ga da ga da. But I find tut and cut for the euphonium, you have to really work at being open. Ta ga da ga da, ta ga da ga da, ta ga da ga da. The tongue is like a fish. You remember? Fish swimming in the water. Happy days. Fish out of the water. Not good. Fish and a tongue. Air and water. Okay, good. And maybe some of you have been working on your triple tongue. And maybe you've done well, but maybe the stamina needs a little bit of work. No more complaints about the sound. Do I think the spirometer is a good tool for warm-up? No. Not really. Not for warm-up. I don't think you need it. Stay away from the gadgets a little bit. I think if you want a separate focus on your breathing, Thomas, nice to have you here. The spirometer is good. The ultra breathe is very good. Nice and handy. Keep it in your pocket and keep it clean. I know a friend who boil washed his ultra breathe and ended up looking like a really bad ravioli in the bottom of the pan. So don't boil wash. Hot water with some detergent is good. Triple tongue. Let's try 1 octave. There's your start note. 1, 2, 3. And if you tighten at the top, you'll find that there's no air. No hair, no air passing through your lips. Of course, there's a stamina aspect here. We're going to play in a minute, so let's just try this. Coming down, triple tongue. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Okay, so that's got lips moving. If you find that your breathing feels tight, maybe because you haven't done exercises, spend a bit longer with it. And don't rush anything, Most of us have that little bit extra time, if you're home teaching, and I've been, doing my RNCM teaching from home. I don't have 2 hours of M6 up and 2 hours back. I've gained 4 hours a week, all that good stuff. And how do we use that extra time? Maybe some of you have taken on. Let me know if you've taken on any new hobbies. That could be interesting. Hi, Brandon. Thanks for watching, my friend. Jose Oriental. Yes, wonderful. Nice that my Spanish friends can move around a little bit more. That's fantastic. If you've taken on any new hobbies or cooking and want to send me a cake, let me know. Okay, take your instruments, folks. Okay, posture. Okay, get those shoulders back, get the arms open, and let's just blow 3 big lines of air through the instrument like this. 3 of those. No accidents. If your instrument's full of water, might as well fix it now. Okay, here we go. So even when you run out of air, as maybe you did, make sure you're not feeling like that. All the air you take is air that you can use. Not. That's going to be a series of big disappointments in every phrase that you play. Okay, let's turn that into a low concert B flat, treble clef C. Let's hear 3 of those. Got a shiny light here I'm just going to take out of my face. Let's do that again. So, bonus, working on Spanish and cooking. Fantastic. So we've upped the dynamic for these 3. Come on, let's go. All your air, all your energy. Okay, let's turn these into octaves. Now, as we move this big air, concentrate on that 1 finger space between your teeth. Okay, don't let it change. Don't do any unnecessary movement. Let's do that together. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to go from there to the 10th. So that's an octave plus a third. And we're going to go down in semitones. Okay? You shouldn't need to change fingering for any second note, in case you're wondering what the fingers are. Okay? 1, 2, 3. So quality control that one. You can do it with the tongue, a light tongue with a big sound. We can do that too. Okay, make sure you keep your focus where that second note is. Any more people thanking me for the lessons? Not over yet, but thank you. Hi Riley, hi Patrick. Wonderful. Vincent, Mark Schwartz. Oh, wonderful. Lovely people. So, same again, legato, okay? And let's put some little cantabile into this, like this. Like we're playing our harmonious blacksmith, as we will be soon. And going down in semitones. Big sound, big breath, big spaces, big relax, good posture. 1, 2, 3. So with these same fingers, you know, 4, 4, 4, it obviously makes the second note a little more dangerous because it's not a normal fingering. But if you can center it with those fingerings, then with the normal fingerings, of course, you can. So if you find that you're clipping, you need to do a little bit more singing. Play the first one again and imagine you're singing it. So this is treble clef C, E, C. So you can play around with these intervals, you know. fun one. An octave plus a flattened seventh. It has certain elephantine qualities. You know what I mean? And then so all of those can expand your range, and you can do them fairly easy in your warm-up routine, you know? And of course you can play them slower than that. Good stuff. So we're still in part of the warm-up. Now I want you to think about your sound. Are you happy with your sound? Are you happy with your sound in all circumstances? Have you worked on your vibrato? Remember the so those of you that are not sure about the jaw and what should be doing, yeah. Hopefully some of those tips from, seems a long time ago now, isn't it, that we've been in this situation. But hopefully when you play your melodies, you are using some vibrato. And if you find that your vibrato has been too prevalent, you know, chips with everything, then have you tried taking the vibrato away or using it a bit more sparely? Because if you have, that's a sign of your ongoing maturity. Excuse me. If you found that your vibrato stopped working once you got to high G or high A, maybe you should start to train that more. You can do to your practice. Sometimes just step away from the pieces that you're doing. I'm not too happy, but don't sound... Oh, Maureen, you've been making brilliant progress. Absolutely brilliant. But you just keep at it. And positivity, you know. I've been playing many hours for many years, and it's my job. So if you all just put a little bit of professionality into how you practice. And the other thing I've put here, actually, on the really next on the list, is make sure that you're listening, you know. When we speak, of course, we hear our voice and we hear the words that we use, etc., etc. But sometimes we get so involved with the mechanics of playing. We actually stop listening to the sound, and we can't do that, especially with these most beautiful instruments in the world, the euphonium and the baritone. Do we have any tuba players here? Most of the people I've seen here have been mostly euphonium, some doublers, I guess. Your sound is your calling card. It really is. So let's just try. Imagine you're playing in a beautiful, big, empty hall, you know? So the sound is going to resonate. You may be in your kitchen, you may be in your living room with zero resonance. But let's just imagine now, and that'll help us to play with a more full sound. So treble clef, G, B, D, E, D, B, G. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. Let me hear you. Folks, we're going to put a high G on top. Save some it together. Good breath. We're going to add the high B on top of that with a good sound. Let's try it together. Don't squeeze for the high note. More air than last time. Okay, let's try that once more. G, B, D, E, G, B, G, E, D, B, G. If you're from the United States or anywhere that only thinks in concert pitch, you're thinking, he's gone mad. But we're mostly in treble clef land here, over here. Yes. Try once more. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And what should the embouchure be doing? This should be allowing this to vibrate. Okay? Well, I'm not going to buzz that. We'd all be choking up. But that's the function of that. So think about that. So I think you've just got to believe in this a little more. Do you remember the tongue positions? You go, yeah, remember you did say something about that 3 months ago. We just had a sparrow outside my window trying to compete with your singing. More bird news. Actually, my 3 families of starlings have actually almost caused me to remortgage my house. They can eat through 2 full bird fooders full of food every day. I just had to order 50 quid, Misa's not listening, on Amazon of bird food. And it seems to be the starlings that get it most. I think they just take it away into their nest. There'll be heavyweight nests falling out of trees. Anyway, Colin, thank you for that beautiful distraction. Irma, use headphones, it works. Yes! John, are you happy now? And the volume right up. Now, okay. John, I was so stressed about that. And there was me saying, don't stress about John. He'll be okay. More important things to worry about. But I'm so glad that you're happy. And thank you for the bird news. Any more bird news, welcome. I haven't seen the sparrowhawk. I think maybe a flock of magpies ganged up and sent him out of town. Okay, so sound. Sound is largely dependent on your unique combination of spaces.
If I talk like this, John, you'll be adjusting your headphones.
And there's no need because I just changed my voice by changing the spaces.
Just say hello
in the most weird voice you can. That's weird. Well done. And so nobody tells us how to do that. We just change things. And so as brass players, because we're so set in our ways, you know. When I think of a beautiful melody, I go into that mode, I use the spaces. If I didn't, it's hard to imagine the unimaginable, but if I was to go, if I was to imagine, your average 8-year-old, I would just make small spaces and use not much air and squeeze a lot. So in between that and a professional player lies the whole world of amateur players and hobby players. So at no extra cost, and this is where the singing and playing cross over again, reunite those. So let's just, I had a lovely comment. Irma, I know you're watching today. Great to see you. You talked about how even a scale can be made to sound very musical. Irma, everything, thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. But everything you do can be made to sound musical. There's no excuse for saying, okay, I'm going to do a single tongue exercise. Like it's some obsolete First World War machine gun. Everything we do should have a nice sound, should have a meaning, a reason to exist. So if we just try up and down, treble clef C major with a good tone. So yes, tongue, yes, fingers. Yes, engage the spaces. 1, 2, with me, 3, 4. Again, and 2 octaves up and down like this. If you want to stop somewhere and join us on the way down, see you soon. 1, 2, 3. 1 octave legato. 1, 2, 3. Pianissimo legato. 1, 2, 3. Could you hear me, John? That was 12 P's. And the vowel, no, just joking. Just joking. Mary, wonderful that you're here. Great. And I know lots of you guys do expression and musicality. Absolutely, Irma. Well done. I'm sorry I couldn't see you at the Bolsover School this year. What a tragedy that we had to call that off. But next year will come. Okay, so don't just practice C major. That was the next thing I was going to say. You know, try your B majors. And love them all. They're all God's scales. But of course, even some of my students at the RNCM, you give them concert G flat major. They don't always sound beautiful. So practice every day. You know, I was going to say it's like speaking a foreign language, but I shouldn't use that as an analogy, because an analogy, it's a new word, because I'm really terrible by foreign languages. I understand bits of 3 or 4 languages. Anyway, Steve, you're rambling a bit today. Thank you. I was thinking the same thing. So how's your technique been coming on? Because I think we should start to look at some of our exercises now. I think we should try exercise 3. It's called page 8, practice for lip slurs and arpeggios. And this is when people say, I can't find this. It's on Euphonium Club page. Since Tuesday, or was it Wednesday? Anyway, maybe you've had a chance to practice. Maybe you're just waiting to see how they go. So we should be looking at and please take care that bars 2 and 3 are not the same. They look kind of, but they are different. Now, I found with most players, the lip slurs are the things that they find the most difficult, because the tongue can help us so much. But it actually, it's not the same as like you get to a wall and rather than go over it, you go around it or through it. You do have to learn lip slurs, okay? And so these can be done slowly. Let's just work on the first measure of the first line, okay? That's easier to go to the next note. Let's try that together. 1, 2, 3. okay? Did you get stuck on the way down? So let's just try from the written D sharp. 1, 2, 3. Little faster. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then concentrate on what your air is going to do. It's not going to go. There should be really no stepping. If you feel that something like that is happening, then you're not taking the simple approach. You're taking maybe the traditional or your traditional and old approach. So let's try it at that speed and see where we are, folks. Okay, first line complete. 1, 2, 3. Once more. 3. Ya da da dee da da dee da da dee da da da. Okay, repeat after me. Exact triplets. Not da 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 dee da 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 dee da da da. That's another song all together. Anybody new? Gavin, wow, how wonderful you're here. Hang around. Leslie's off. Going to catch up later. Nice to see you later, Emily. Leslie. Now, if you start thinking about ya da 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 dee da da and forget about, it's only going to get harder. Okay, every single thing you do with your instrument and with music is variations on, not variations on the harmonious blacksmith, it's variations on so you have to guarantee the smooth passage of the air through your instrument. Okay, let's do the first one, let's do the second one, and let's do the third one. And let's see if we still have 76 people watching or whether some of you have switched off. 1, 2, 1, beginning. How do we get on? Pretty good. I know what some of you are saying. Fine, but you need to play it slower. Actually, you need to play it faster. That's a moderate tempo. This is not designed for speed. You know, some of the things we do are. Let's do it once more, guys. Okay? Right back to the beginning. I'm going to take 10% off the tempo. Just for you. Just for today. A special offer. 10% off the tempo. Anyone else? Floriano. Buonasera. Okay. And make sure you take a great breath for every phrase. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Breathe. Big breath. Okay, maybe that's a little easier. Maybe you had to breathe once in the middle, or even twice. So you're either playing too strongly, or more like, or you're not being efficient with the air, or you didn't take enough breath, or you're playing too loud. The doctor has written his prescription. Take a bigger breath. Don't play too loud. And the more smooth you can play it, actually the less lumpy, the more efficient you'll be with the air. You don't want to go. It's like dragging weights behind you. Okay, so make yourself more more streamlined. Let's just try the fourth one. 1 and 2 combination, changing to 2 and 3. Just use the fingers that are there, so it's. You don't need to do what we would call normal fingers, although most of these I think are normal fingers. 2 and 3 on C, for example. So let's try number 4, not too fast. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is from Mises Technicals. Some of you will recognize it. You think, I've seen this before. A lot of people are using this book. It's a great challenge. Let's try the last one on that sheet, and then we'll move on to some melody. Okay, so fourth valve, or if you don't have a fourth valve, 1 and 3 going to 1, 2 and 3, or as it says here, fourth valve going to 2 and 4. So about this tempo. And try and keep a nice sound going through. 1, 2, 3. Much harder in the fourth valve range. Let's do it once more. 1, 2, 3. Little faster. 1, 2, 3. So work on that one till you can do a clear run of all 6 in different tempos. With a metronome on is good. And if you need to go do 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 dee dee doo dee or do dee or, that's okay. You can build it up from there. All right. So use a metronome in the book. They go down, and then they go up again. No, actually, I think on this one they keep going down. So it's a really great study. Won't tire your lip out. There's nothing hard in terms of physicality. So that's the first one. We'll have a look at actually exercise 13, practice for lip slurs. The one that sounds like it's Tarzan. Remember him? I remember that from my childhood. I'm sure some of you do. I think it used to be on a Sunday afternoon. Anyway, back to business. Exercise 13, practice for lip slurs. So, no tongue here, and one fingering obviously copes with the whole exercise. If you've just joined us and you don't know what these are, you may not be able to look at the euphonium store, euphonium club to check the exercises and watch simultaneously, but they are there. Okay, so this is how I play the first 2 lines, and then you tell me how you do yours. So this is a bit like watching somebody who sprints a lot sprint. But so our training up to these, but definitely one bar in one breath. You know, please don't go because that's going to be very shallow air. So if we try this at a slow tempo, we'll do the first line. So the one that begins on treble clef C, and the one that begins on treble clef B, like this. Now just go for evenness of tone, okay? Don't play them too soft. Let's get some nice confident sounds driving through. 1, 2, 3. Next one. Okay, so I can't hear you. And I'm sure some of you are going, Steve, these are easy. Why are you bothering us with these? Because in my experience, the most easy looking, I mean, and there's more easy looking than this, the more easy sounding are usually the most useful. Usually the most useful, you know? If I was to go, you know, I could teach a dog with 3 legs to play that in about 5 minutes. But there's quite a complex series of interreactions here with the air going through it. So what you could do, hi Jeff, thanks for joining us. A pencil or a chopstick or your finger, let's just try that. And don't allow the lips to move from their position. This is old stuff, but it's been a while since I've seen you, dear people, and you may have forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Now you may say, how are you getting to change the nose? Because you're going so sure, I'm not using the voice, but I'm using the kind of mechanism I'd use if I was whistling to create that pitched air. Okay guys, moderate tempo, 2 bars in 1 breath, and we'll do the first line. So it's going to be and ensure that the crotchet or the quarter note, same thing of course, depending on which island you're on, the quarter note or crotchet needs to be sustained. Don't go da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. It's like the bad Batman theme. I always go back to that expression that Emery Remington used about something being on a line, tonguing on a line. And the line is your line of air. So if you break it up, you're never going to get flow in your melody, in your exercises. So think of long lines. Mark Stevens, so good that you're here. So many lovely people. It's like a big family, isn't it? Goodness me. And I'm not looking at the clock today, and I maybe should. But if you have to go out, you know, if you have a 10 o'clock in the evening appointment, just follow the rest on catch up. Seriously, it won't be that long. So let's do the first 2 lines, okay? First 2 lines, 2 bars in 1 breath, always. And fast breath, there's no super gaps between them. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well done. Is that the first time I said that today? Because I feel, how do I know? Steve, you're such an idiot. I feel that by repetition, these are getting better. Hence the well done. Okay, so I know what some of you are thinking. Steve, can't we do this a bit faster? Really, I think I might go and have a cup of tea if you're not going to challenge us anymore. So, to those people, we're going to start. We're going to start on line 3, and we're going to go to the bottom of the page. Now look carefully at the fingers, because if you start to do your own, the fingering suggested carries you through the whole line. So, so that last line is a bit of a devil on 1, 3, and 4. You may have tried it already. I love smashing air through false tones. You can write that down. I love smashing air through false tones. Because then, okay, you have some finger challenges on normal fingers, but you're going to fill those notes. And that's going to help us for everything else we do today. So, we're going to start on line 3. And we're going to go to the end of the page in a fast tempo. Okay? And just stay with us. If you're playing along and you have to miss a couple out, don't put your instrument down and go, shut up. Keep going. Miss a few notes out. Join in. Use the tongue. Do some creative dance while we do it. It's fine. Here we go. Line 3 of exercise 13. Practice for lip slurs as you discovered on the Steve Mead Euphonium Cloud. 1, 2, 3. It's like spreading butter on pieces of toast, hot toast that are going in front of you and they're quickly disappearing, and you have to get that much butter on it. So, after that excitement, let's just calm down. Just promise me you'll practice them. And of course, in the book they go lower and lower, and then variations on that, and then they go higher as well. So that's exercise 13 in Mises Technicals book 1. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to work on tonguing and expanding intervals, and it's the last exercise before we move on to the pieces today. Oh no, you say. I tried this and it's terrible. I guess it depends what speed you do it as to how terrible it could be, and whether the notes at the end are indeed anyway recognizable to what's written down. At this point, I want to show you an instrument I've been playing since yesterday. Oh, shock horror. So the Besson Company have sent me 5 of their new Prodige range, and this instrument is really unbelievable. It's the Prodige BE165, so it's a 4-valve non-compensating euphonium with the smaller bell, and the damn thing plays itself. And it doesn't weigh anything. I haven't weighed it yet, but it's the lightest 4-valve instrument, and it's non-compensating. But you know, a lot of people say, oh, you need a compensating instrument. Well, you kind of do, but if I was going to go, there's only one note that's missing, which is the low D flat. And then after, when I get to low concert F, I just finger an E. So, I just can't get over. I hope once this test is done, I'm going to say to Besson, no, you only sent me 4 instruments. I only got 4. One must have got lost. Oh, send in my table. Lovely instrument. Anyway, so I'm going to do this instrument. I'm going to play this instrument on exercise 7. Practice for intervals and leaps. Did you practice this? Can anybody tell me whether they practiced this in advance? Just say, yes, I did. and you'll get 2 team points and some house points and a gold star. Anybody practice this? I know there's a time delay, but I don't think anybody did. You should. Someone confessed to practicing these. Esther. Jefferson did. That's it. Jefferson, all the way from Brazil. He practiced. Maureen practiced. Micah says, nice instrument. Micah, pay attention. Did you practice this exercise? Oh, there's a no sorry. A no sorry. Right. Play it on your own then. Mary, yes. Yes. Alison, yes. Okay. Stop writing. I sure did. I sure did on the back of my horse. Yes, this morning and earlier in the week. Struggles. Yes. Okay, stop writing now. Thank you. Now, this is my favorite tempo. But then when you get to the last line, this little baby just eats it up. I mean, it's a bit of a naughty rascal. It's like the boy at the back of the class, you know.
Hey, sir, you're a twat.
It's a bit of a cheeky one, but it's really lively. So, my friends, and thank you all for writing. I was worried, I guess because of the time delay, but have anybody practiced exercise? Nothing. It's like, you know what? I'm going to go and have a cup of tea now. But you all did. So let's just try the first bar with a repeat. So this is the first bar twice at this tempo. So firstly, establish a good pulse, okay? Make sure you breathe. Don't just think, you know, like the fish out of water. And get your fingers to be really responsive. You could almost go... That's be one way. And when you go, you know, the last line... Because you don't want to mess up at the end of this just because you're putting down the wrong valves, you know. So it's kind of separate here. Great, lots of practices, fantastic. I should make this into a competition, shouldn't I? Maybe the next time we meet, we'll do a little competition. So, first line, first 2 bars like that with me. 1, 2, 3. Okay, da 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 da. Da 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 da. So a clean note, but really not staccato, not in the dry sense. I can't believe anybody, well maybe, yes, maybe so you did. No, you really wouldn't, but the better the air, positive attack, you know. I really don't want... It's not going to help anyone. Certainly not yourself. Annoy the neighbours. Another brick comes over the wall. Try it in that tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, I need to breathe every 2 bars. You really don't. Maybe every 3 or 4 bars, and then when you do, down, 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 you can't breathe in the middle of the semiquavers, the 16th notes. You just can't. Down, 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 down. But because these notes are slightly detached, what I'm saying is, let's work on the first line now with repeat, mezzo piano. Okay, if you want to use like some false fingering, occasionally you'll see that I use 3rd finger for the treble clef A. For me, it's better. Sometimes I suggest to people, use third valve, and they go, oh no, my third finger is rubbish. Find out what works best for you. During this, you don't have many alternatives, to be honest, not in this range. But if there's anything that's easier and the tuning sounds okay, go ahead, do it, because it's a skill of using false fingering in exercises. Very good to have. So, first line, I'm going to conduct you, talk you through it, breathe when you need to. Don't lose any time, don't miss any notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dun 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 change. Dun 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 ding dun 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 ding dun dun. Okay, so you really have to master the first line before you go on to the bigger intervals. And it may be it's your concentration, because while you're playing one bar and you're thinking, yes, I think this is okay, suddenly you're in the next bar and you've got sharps and flats and the intervals are getting bigger. So if you're prone to panic, this is the exercise for you. To panic. So as you're playing, as soon, each bar is repeated. Hi, Aaron. Are you there? Are you there? Tell me you're there, Aaron. That's fantastic. Thank you for tuning in. Dun, 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 dun. Look ahead to the next one. Bum, bim, bum, bum. Da, 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 da. Look ahead to the next one. Da, 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 dum, bum, bum, bum. And I found as intervals get bigger, if I concentrate my attention on the lowest note, for me, some reason it seems to anchor the music a little better. Take the next line as an example. So if you have time just to give that more sound, it seems to balance out the exercises a little better. So we're going to try the second line together, okay, with repeats. No faster than that. You probably say, Steve, it's already too fast. I'm sorry, just miss out the odd note if it really is. I thought this was kind of moderate tempo. Next week. There is no next week, so don't worry. Well, there is a next week, but you know what I mean. 1, 2, 3, That's quite hard with the D flat and the C sharp and the repeat. We don't often see C sharp and a D flat in the same written in the same way. All right, let's try third line a little bit. Hi, Valeria. Wonderful. Marco. Alvarito. Oh, I feel I should just get a large bottle and drink it and pretend I'm having a party with all of you. But that probably wouldn't be so interesting to watch. It could be. Third line. Don't lose your positivity. Try the third line. 1 with repeats. 3, 4. Dun ding dun dun da di du da di du dun ding dun dun da di du change. Bum bing bum 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 bim bum 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 ding dun 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 da change. Bum bing bum 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 bim bum 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 bing bum 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 bim bum 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 bum. Okay, well done. That's not an easy one to hear, that last bar. Okay, you with me so far? Okay, try the first bar of the last line slower. Because there's no point playing these fast if we don't know where the notes are. Let's try it. 2, 3. See, it's about now you'll start to use some profanities and bad language, which I can't hear. So only the people in your house are going to be upset. Maybe the neighbours if you're doing it. What? Stupid. There's the challenge right there for you, okay? It's saying, play me. Play me. Come on. Boom, bum, bum, boom, bum, 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 bum. And it's progressive, so it's not like we play the first bar and jump to there. Good test of your concentration. My goodness. So let's try the last line at a slow speed. Yes, that is slow. Here we go. 1. Good luck. See you at the end. Okay, let's try the last line at a faster tempo. Just one time, yeah? Yum, bum, 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 da 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 dum. I know you want to, and it doesn't matter if it sounds like you're going crazy and somebody rushes in the room. Are you okay? Oh yeah. Last line, come on. Luck favors the brave. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well done. So let this be your friend and companion for the next couple of days. Right. Try to keep up all the technical things. You know, we haven't done a lot of finger exercises today, although there's some fingers in that one. Make sure that you're getting a balanced diet through all your study books. Now we're going to look at a beautiful tune, Visidate by Puccini. We have 4 pieces, and we've been going an hour and a quarter, so about another half an hour, if you can bear it, folks, because, you know, our practice is only meaningful if we can then play music, rather than, you know, you're not going to go on stage and play that last exercise, although if you played it double speed, it could be quite a good encore, I suppose. Make the punters happy. But Visidate, a very famous, beautiful song by Puccini. I don't know how many of you took the trouble to Google this and find the original, because it's really interesting. I recorded it years ago on one of the World of Euphonium albums, and this is not the part that I gave you, but this is the solo part that I played from. It's in bass clef, and what I did is study lots of vocal performances, and I notated on my copy everything that the singers did. So when they moved forward, I put an arrow. Where they put in a little nuanced crescendo, where they use more vibrato, and I found that really useful. And somebody said, "You know, you played it just like a singer." Oh yeah, it's because I listen to singers. And we should really do that, you know, because just the notes. Let's take the beginning, for example. If you just look at those notes, okay, you have to remember the key. You wouldn't say that this is one of the greatest works from the whole world of opera. You'd say it sounds like it's from Tune a Day, Book 3. You know, you've got your triplets, you've got your dotted rhythm. But dolcissimo, con gran sentimento, lento appassionato. Well, there's a start. That's euphonium territory. Maria Callas version. Exactly, Maureen. Oh my goodness. then we're on. So I'm not sure. I was trying to work out the best way for us to play this together. I mean, I think we'll just take a few instances and kind of work on them. And as in all operatic arias that we play, and we play a lot on brass instruments, it was our heritage with euphonium, we really would do well to know the original. And when I say to a student, have you heard any performances? Yeah, I got your recording of it. No, have you heard any opera recording? No, I couldn't find any. That's interesting, because there's 1,000 available. And they all sing slightly different, and everyone will have their favourite. Maureen mentioned Maria Callas, and that is the absolutely classic version. So they are. Dave Thornton played Maria Callas's version. The other lifting skills, somewhere like there we are. You see, great minds think alike. We have to go beyond the notes, and the notes have to have meaning. And in the other song that we are going to do shortly, where Pavarotti's my favourite one, the Caruso, helps also to know the song, helps to know the story. So in the original here, Visidate. So those sounds need to have a little bit more importance so they're clear. We're not going to go, which is the brass player's way of playing it. And I say, somebody will say, why are you slurring them? Well, I wasn't in the original version. There was a slight element of detachment, so that's really important. And the second one, so there's this almost kind of resolute feeling to this. And then on the vocal version that I'd written on the second phrase, so the vibrato carries one note to another. So we honestly could spend an hour talking about the sophistication of melodic playing, especially when we're playing opera music. But the same as when we're playing, Roshu exercises. These are all trainee exercises for opera singers. Okay, Puccini came a little bit later than the classical world of the Bordoni exercise. And then measure 12 is dramatic. I mean, you could look at the copy and say, I think you should still be piano. Well, folks, this isn't a band contest, and we have to kind of copy what the singers do. So from measure 10, they build the tension through those two bars, and then very full. So let's just play from the beginning. Come on. We're all going to have our own expression. So to some extent, play along Visidate is not terribly musically agreeable. But let's try and see if we can just find some shape. And if you've got headphones on, or when you play back, might be interesting just to, if you like, imitate some of the nuance if you don't know the original. Okay, 1, 2, 1. And then it sets, well done. Thank you for playing along if you were. I'm no Pavarotti, and I'm certainly no female opera singer. I'm no Maria Callas. But this has to flow. This has to be so elegant. And when we get to the climax, there's two real big climaxes. One is at measure 22. But obviously a little bit understated. It's the first time we hear that. And then, of course, the biggest climax. Trombone player come on here and say you shouldn't be using vibrato, I will say go to hell and don't come back. Tuba teachers, try playing this without vibrato, it sounds much better. It doesn't, it sounds crap. So this has to be full voiced and appassionato. Yeah, okay, let's play from the second bar of B. Yeah, sorry, that's the other copy. From 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, so measure 17, piano, con grande sentimento. Okay, I'll kind of conduct and play at the same time. One of my classical traits. Let's have a go. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Take a big breath. And when you have repeated notes, okay, this is opera, folks. This is opera with a euphonium. You have to be a little imaginative. Sorry for the squeaky chair. Normal chair service will be resumed. 1, 2, 3. Isn't that unbelievable music? Yeah. So listen to 2 or 3 operatic versions. Find out which... Hi, Martin. Dom, hi. Hi, fantastic. Find out which one you like the best. But, you know, there's a chance to build your sound. You know, from measure 33 to the end. Very important, you know the accompaniment if you play with piano. Quite a dramatic off there, and then usually there uses that little grace note usually announces it's not on this copy. Normally there. Oh, I do love that. And when you hear a really great voice do it, my goodness. You know, a lot of us have been listening to music through headphones the last weeks. When you get those moments, you could have tears running down your face. Okay, technique time. Let's have a look at this little harmonious blacksmith. So this is just the first page of 2. This is published by Studio Music, super cheap. I think it's about £5 or £6 for the solo part with piano accompaniment. A classic. This harmonious blacksmith is what got me absolutely hooked on euphonium, and I found the recording. I was going to play it through my computer, but it's a little tricky. Now, if you type in to Google Barry Perrins, now Barry Perrins, 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 his original forename was spelled Barrie, Barrie, I-E, but on the Google one they spelt it wrong, so you're going to have to spell it wrong to find it. Barry, B-A-R-R-Y, Barry Perrins, harmonious blacksmith, and you'll see this rather grey looking photo with Barry Perrins with his old Solbron Besson euphonium, smaller bell even than the smaller one on this amazing 165 BE 165, and what a sound that guy gets. And it's real old school delivery, and do check it out. It's a YouTube clip from the CD. The CD I think was called the Hendon Sound, Hendon Band, conducted by bandmaster Don Morrison, and he sticks in a few cadenzas and stuff near the beginning, but then he gets onto this same Ord Hume version. And when I was 11, 12 years old, my sister gave me that LP, yeah, it was a record, for Christmas, or it was my birthday, my 11th or 12th birthday, and I listened to it over and over again, and that sound that Barry made. Now I'm copying his nuance, and if you check out, and I really want you to check out that YouTube clip, you'll hear that warm expression, probably more vibrato than we use nowadays, I'm sure. But you know, if you were to play that with a band in a concert, people would come up to you and say, I love your sound. You love my vibrato? Or you love my sound? Don't argue about it, just say thank you very much. But there is something super sentimental and traditional about that. And there should really be a trill in that last bar. So, I don't know what speed you practiced at, but please don't play it as if it's adagio. Maybe you can do 4 bars in one breath. A lot of you was my hero, David Abrahams. Absolutely. I heard him a few times as well, David. Classic sound. Just somebody who was clearly so passionate about the instrument. So I'm very happy to big up him today, and of course Trevor Groom, who was my teacher, and on the YouTube following was Trevor Groom playing Home on the Range. So maybe the same, when you find one you'll find the other. Put some headphones on and listen to those giants of the euphonium. You know, they would be absolutely superstars now if times were different. Beautiful players with fantastic technique. So let's play the theme, and let's do no repeats. Okay, let's play this together. Okay, let's try together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. it's so enjoyable, and that tune stuck in my head for years, and it's quite emotional thinking back to how that affected me as a 12-year-old, and how many times I played it, and I thought, oh, I want to do that. And the speed that he plays the first variation, you're probably thinking, oh goodness me. Yes, Patrick Phelan, who plays euphonium just like the same one. Yeah, there's still a lot. Who's that? Martin. Yeah, there's still a lot of those old euphoniums around. The old Besson euphoniums were made out of tank metal. I mean, they'll be around longer than all of us, some of these instruments, you know. Great sound, a little stuffy, but when you had that old-fashioned energy, boy, did they come to life, you know. So enjoy that, play it with repeats when you do it, and make the maestoso really pretty much for the second time when you do the repeat. And then just a little bit of technical writing. Okay, so what speed have you been practicing it at? That's Barry Perrin's speed, but it may not be yours. So let's work up to that. Okay, let's try it together. In fact, I'm going to give you some bass notes. I haven't tried this yet, but if you play with me now and you play at that tempo, we could find ourselves playing a duet. Kind of radical, but let's have a go. 1, 2, 3, and... Good. Shall we try faster? Let's make sure we keep the quavers nice and short. Really helps the music to dance along. Okay, I'll play with you this time. Up the tempo. Have a go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And you don't have the missing notes. I was good. So when we get to the beginning of the repeat section, you can hit these notes quite hard. Especially as the melody notes and the triplets are pretty much in the same pitch range. And that was the old style way of playing it. Okay, let's have a go. Let's have a go. I know some of you may be cursing me now. I've practiced it slower than that. I'm so sorry. Repeat section. Well, I'll back off 5%. Repeat section. Bum, biddle-dum, biddle-dum, biddle-dum. Have a go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, once more. 1, 2, 3. Good. And the high-speed version. One time. 1, 2, 3. etc. Okay, so there's a really fun solo. The next variation, nice fast running triplets. Yum, nothing too high, but good traditional technique. And if you need a challenge, the Harmonious Blacksmith band parts are available, of course, and piano parts if it's something you want to work up for a concert. Hi Carol, thanks for watching. Fantastic. Okay, 2 pieces to look at. We'll try and keep moving here. Caruso. Now Caruso is a fantastic song. I've got a couple of recordings by Pavarotti. One on the Essential Pavarotti, where he plays with like electronic strings. It's really out of character, very, very kind of modern sounding. But this was composed in 1986 by Lucio Dalla, and it's a tribute, of course, to Enrico Caruso, who died. If you read up on Caruso's life, he had a very interesting life. Had lots of affairs with married women. That was the secret. No, it wasn't the secret to his success. Otherwise, but I think it was just part of his artistic charm that he loved all things femininity, shall we say. We'll leave it there. But this was a tribute to the wonderful voice, and it is supposed to be representing Caruso on his deathbed, basically talking to all his feelings coming out to a lady that he loves. So it's a very, very beautiful song. Of course, there's a lot of speech in the melody. And if you haven't found this, please have a listen. There's a beautiful version, couple of versions, as I say, with Pavarotti, and Andrea Bocelli has also done a nice one, and you may find others, but it's really good. I mean, it has some feelings of Puccini because it's about a famous opera singer, but it has a nice modern feel to it. It goes back, and then it happens twice. Goes back to the beginning for verse 4. So if you do ever perform this, and this is from the first Stephen Mead Euphonium Songbook, Volume 1, edited by Luc Vitoman. Big, thick book with piano accompaniment. If you do get the chance to play this, by all means do some extra repeats so that it's more like the original. But let's just try for a moment this beautiful end of measure 13. So much emotion. Let's go right through the notes. Okay, let's try it. 1 and 2 and... One, two. Big breath and vibrato. Sing it. Yeah. So if you can please listen to the original and see both Bocelli and Pavarotti approach this in a slightly different way. I think, if I remember, Pavarotti is a little bit more clear. there's some real impassioned speaking going on. And that's another thing, you know, to be stylistic. Sometimes we have to be very brave. You have to be very brave. You can't just go... because there's nothing there. It's empty. Okay, so fill the sounds out. And to some extent, you know, if you listen to Pavarotti singing, you think he's going from mezzo forte to a big forte pretty much all the way through. And of course, you know, people say, well, actually there's no dynamics here, which I think is one of the beautiful things about it. We can play it how we want, you know. And as you know, singers take such liberties with the tempo. Every conductor's nightmare is an opera singer in full flow with the song, with the piece like this, so the poor conductor doesn't know where the downbeat's going to be, but they always find a way. And then, and if you don't sing much, goodness me, try it, you know, try it. So there's Caruso. Listen to the original. If you want to play along with the original, I'm afraid, and I tried it yesterday, it's a major third higher. So if your powers of transposition are good, put some headphones on and play along with Big Lucy. Good. We have one more piece today, folks, and it's the jig. I say jig because it's just a jig in this edition, but the origin of the word, of course, is jig. And this is from the Green Hill. Fabulous piece. Everybody loves a good Celtic melody. This was, some of you remember I recorded this also with Raina recently. Beautiful solo. And I thought that we'd test our technique a little bit with the technique in the second half of the piece. So, have you got up to 152 tempo? It's quick, especially when you get happens very quickly. So obviously slow practice. You know, we've talked about this in some of the Q&As. Try and energize your articulation. Nice bright tongue. Hi, Carol. I hope you've got your baritone there. You're playing along. Okay, guys, let's try and play as far as letter H. So we're going to go from E, which is the top of the page, down to H. And if you have to miss one or two notes, that's okay. But try to pimp up your articulation. I don't want to hear where the excitement has been sucked out the music. So keep it bright. If you can make those little dynamic contrasts, forte, mezzo piano second line, mezzo forte third line, crescendo on the fourth line, forte, forte, and it stays strong, and the last line, which we'll come to eventually, builds up. Okay, let's go. You've got your instruments. So if you're playing on catch up, have a go. Okay, this is not a class where you just kind of go, what's he doing? This is what you're doing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I hope you did fine. If you've been practicing that one and you've got that close to that tempo, there's just a few little tricks, and as I say, whenever those little 16th notes, whenever the semiquavers appear, give them a little accent, you know, a letter F. Otherwise it's going to go, it's going to get lost. So just to increase the vibrancy. Okay, now letter H. Well, especially the second line of H is pretty tough, as some of you have probably discovered. That always needs some work, especially you could go dia da 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 dia da dia da. If you wanted to change the articulation a little bit, why not? You know, I don't think composers can be too angry. Letter H. Let's try slowly. H. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so getting fluidity, getting smoothness as the tempo comes up. Hi Maro, good to see you here. Let's just try letter H in tempo. Okay, just that line. Just keep leaning on those beats a little bit here. Let's hear you. 1, 2, 3. Great, and don't slow down as you go to that last note. Because you need all your time to get that breath in the quaver rest that's coming. Okay, let's do H again, and this time we'll carry on through both of those lines. Letter H, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And you might, well done. If you got there with me, well done. I would always break that down. Whichever finger combination you pick there, your third valve needs a bit of a work. And then we have a couple of other tough phrases coming on. And don't you dare go down the octave. Bar before K. You should enjoy that. With your eyes open. Okay, so I'm really happy if you've had a chance to do this. You may not have it up to tempo. You may have to change the articulation, but that's okay. Okay, let's just try it one time. I've got print over here. It's letter J. Okay, it's just J to K. Not too fast. Keep it steady. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Once more. Fraction quicker. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Who's for the tempo challenge? One time in tempo. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And the crescendo as well. And then we're into some heavy duty sustained phrasing. Marvelous here because you've got the activity in the piano part with the melody over the top. And then you drop down. We have a similar thing, of course, at letter N, but at letter N sustaining is even harder. With piano, I think you can play the whole phrases. With band, smacking away in the background, you may have to take some breaths. And then we straight back into that articulation. So I hope you have a lot of fun with this solo. Really challenge yourself with the breathing. Yeah? If you play back with me there, don't quit. You know, it's if you're a smoker and you think, if only I stopped smoking, I could probably play that in one breath. What more motivation do you need? If you need to breathe, you can find a nice place to do it. Okay, so let's just have a look at one technical section, okay? Because time's run. We're nearly at 2 hours. My gosh. Letter M. M for mother, my friends. M. Hi, Orly. Welcome. Aaron, welcome. I hope you've got your CDs. Aaron, I sent post is terrible. For those from the United States who've been waiting for stuff from me, sometimes takes a month or longer to get a little package from the UK to America. Hopefully things will improve. M, let's try a steady tempo. Okay, pick out those accents, and then when the big phrases come, have you got your breathing sorted out? Here we go. M for mother. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. My fourth valve stuck. I cleaned it at lunchtime and something bad's got on my fourth valve. Good, well done. I hope that's okay. Let's try a little faster. Maybe I won't use the fourth valve this time. Beep, bum, ba, 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 bum, ba, ba, beep, bum, ba, ba, ba. If you've got energy, good energy in your body, this can work. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, play the last two bars, guys, in tempo. Yum, ba, 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 beep, ba, ba, ba. 1, 2, 3. Once more. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And we will now just look at the very ending. Let's end on something melodic. Let's try this together. 3, 4, 1. And that can be nice and long. So, dear friends, 2 hours of information. If you stuck all the way through, well done. If you had to go out and come back later, or if you watch it in sections, that's great. So I hope there's been some recapitulation of ideas, some interesting things, interesting studies, just stuff to give you a, motivation when you practice. Take on some challenges, quite when your band is going to be back rehearsing again. I think it's getting closer. In some countries in Europe, they're already back to distance full rehearsals, orchestras, some bands. So hopefully we're not going to be too far behind. So thanks for watching. Thanks for having the passion to spend your Saturday afternoon with me. And I hope to see you again some point soon. Keep an eye on Euphonium Club. There was one book I was going to mention for Andy Kershaw, which is now in the Euphonium store. 200 dances for saxophone and cornet. Absolutely fantastic, fun pieces to play. Maybe I'll just to say goodbye, I shall play you a little bit of one of my favorite pieces called Brunettes and Blondes. Brune et Blonde. And I'll play it on this really fun new Besson 163. 30 seconds of music from one of the 200 dances. This book's on the Euphonium store now. Cheerio everyone, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again very soon. Good luck.